Hello, Joanne, Desmond with you. Tonight on 7 News, more money recovered by Noosa Council after a fraud attack last year.
We have been able to get at least 25% odd back of the money that we lost through this fraud event. This happened, don't like it, it's unfortunate, but we're doing everything we can to make sure it doesn't happen again. Maroochydore
named the worst suburb in the state for car park collisions. Australia Post's Christmas cut-off point for parcels and letters. Queenslanders advised to take precautions against mosquito bites with numbers rising in the heat. And Wishlist Giving Tree appeal supporting hospital patients. We'll have all the details of these stories coming up next. Tonight, more money recovered after Noosa Council's fraud attack. Maroochydore, the worst for car park collisions. Wishlist launches a Giving Tree appeal. And Christmas family fun at Aussie World.
Live from the Sunshine Coast, this is 7 News with Joanne Desmond.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. Noosa Council is slowly clawing back funds stolen in a sophisticated fraud attack by an international criminal gang. While it's some relief that taxpayer money is being returned, officers are still hunting for more than $1 million. Rebecca Jensen has more.
The calculated attack happened in December last year, with $2.3 million originally reported in losses. Of that money, $440,000 was recovered in the first months of investigations, and investigations into the incident are ongoing.
All right, thanks for that, Rebecca. Well, personal injury lawyers say severe accidents on the coast are tracking at more than double the state average heading into Christmas. And drivers are being asked to stay alert, with Maroochydore named the top spot for car park prangs.
Mooloolaba lawyer Greg Spinder says there has been an increase in the severity of accidents on the coast this year. Lily Wyatt, 7 News.
Sunshine Coast Hanukkah events, which were cancelled following Sunday's Bondi terror attack, are now going ahead privately. There will be a menorah lighting and vigil tomorrow. To ensure public safety, however, those wishing to attend must first register. Details will then be shared with the exact location and times. Anyone wanting to attend and show support can find the registration link on the Shabbat Sunshine Coast Facebook page. Tourism bookings are slightly down on last year, and operators are relying on last-minute travellers to help fill the gaps over Christmas. Visit Sunshine Coast says they are still expecting peak stays between Boxing Day and the New Year, despite cost of living pressures.
A morning spent building sandcastles on the beach. Travellers are making the most of summer in Queensland. Savannah, Bourke, 7 News.
Well, it's the tree that keeps on giving, allowing sunny coasters to support sick people, not just during Christmas. The Wishlist Giving Tree has taken root at Skoo to fund services and equipment needed in the community.
Boxes bursting with Christmas presents for sick children, the result of big-hearted donors to Wishlist.
Well, sunny coasters wanting to catch the train to and from Brisbane City could face delays with temporary track closures for upgrades and maintenance. Travellers will have to change to a bus at Northgate, which will also make an additional stop at Geebung. Works begin this Saturday and are expected to be complete by the following Sunday, December 28. Well, dozens of Sunshine Coast families doing it tough have been given a free day of fun, rides and food at Aussie World. The annual event is organised by the Salvation Army to spread a little cheer and relieve some financial stress at Christmas.
Whether it was snapping a photo with Santa, listening to carols, tucking into a Christmas feast or braving the rides at Aussie World, more than 500 people from Noosa to Nambour were treated to a day out. Lily Wyatt, Merry Christmas! 7 News.
Yeah, what a fun day. Well, ahead tonight, a reminder to get your Christmas gifts in the post as the cut-off looms, and a warning to beat mozzie bites as the risk of viruses increase in the heat. Thanks for joining us here on 7. Well, Queenslanders are being advised to cover up and prevent mosquito bites, with warmer weather increasing the risk of viruses like Ross River fever. The advice includes repellents, loose clothing and avoiding times when mozzies are most active.
Mosquitoes aren't just a Barbie buzzkill, they can be a deadly threat.
Well, the deadline is looming to ensure your gifts make the post in time for Christmas. Australia Post says letters and cards must be sent by tomorrow. Any interstate parcels by Friday, and anyone wanting to use Express Post should have their parcels sent by Tuesday, December 23. Well, it's time for sport now with Sav, and the Brisbane Bullets are building their footprint here on the coast, Sav.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. The NBL club has announced an athlete academy right here on the coast. I'll have more details on that next as the Falcons count down their final session of the year.
Tonight's Sport Report brought to you by Queensland Country Health Fund. Get a quote today.
7 News, connecting you first.
And welcome back. The Brisbane Bullets have announced a new Sunshine Coast Athlete Academy. It's an elite development pathway program which is set to nurture basketball talent right here on the coast. The Sunshine Coast Falcons will hold their final training session of 2025 this Saturday before heading off on their Christmas and New Year's break. When players return, attention turns to pre-season games and officially their new era now linked with the Brisbane Broncos.
Pre-season has felt a little different at the Falcons this summer, no longer linked with the Melbourne Storm, now in a partnership with the Broncos.
The Sunshine Coast Scorcher women won't play their next match until the new year, but captain Georgie Boy still has some other cricket to take care of. The English batter is currently in Toowoomba, coaching at the Queensland Junior Southern Championships.
With school done and dusted, these teenagers are spending the break the best way they know how.
And that wraps up sport tonight.
Yeah, thanks for that. Fantastic news there. Thanks, Sav. Well, I'll stay with us after the break. Emily Steinhardt joins us and she'll have all the weather details for us.
This weather report brought to you by Superview Security and Sunscreen.
Good evening, Emily Steinhardt with the weather. A bit of a mixed bag across Queensland today, and here on the coast, winds were quite strong. That's partly why my hair is up. Gusts will die down over the coming days and more sunshine is on the cards too. 24-hour falls in the Noosa region saw quite a big drop compared to yesterday, just 13 millimetres at Karoi and 14 at Kinkin. Mount Woolvi near Gympie was even wetter with 24 mils. Significantly less humid across the coast today too, down to 60%. Again, consistent cooler temps with 27 degrees at Tewantin, Nambour and the airport. On the satellite loop today, the heaviest cloud coverage was around the far north, unsurprising for this time of year, and covering more of the Coral Sea as the day progressed. There was a band stretching from the border into the wide bay, just some speckles along the central Queensland coast. On today's chart, a trough that's been over the interior for a few days continues to persist. There's also a high moving into the Tasman, strengthening a ridge along the east coast, which is enhancing onshore winds. Those winds combined with the trough are leading to an increase in moisture. On tomorrow's chart, the high moves further east into the Pacific and continues to weaken. A southeasterly wind surge moving north along the northeast tropical coast is expected to reach the peninsula and enhance rainfall there. And now the latest from the Weather Bureau. The boating forecast for Sunshine Coast waters. Winds tomorrow's are southeasterly up to 15 knots, 20 knots offshore north of Maroochydore in the morning. Seas around 1.5 metres. Variable winds becoming northeasterly Friday and north-northeasterlies Saturday. Those high winds today prompted a warning from lifeguards for swimmers to use extreme caution. Protected areas like Noosa were safest, with lots of chop and rips around most open beaches. High tide tomorrow will be in the morning and the low in the early afternoon, with water movement really ramping up now ahead of the new moon on Saturday. The Southeast Coast District forecast. Those in the north are slightly more likely to get a drizzle, but there's a near zero chance of showers elsewhere. Maroochydore 19 to 28 degrees, a bit warmer in Gympie at 29. Looking ahead now for Maroochydore, our run of sunny days will come to an end on Tuesday, or the day I like to call Christmas Eve Eve. Temperatures are also climbing to 33 degrees. Nothing else from me weather-wise this evening. Thanks for tuning in. I'll have more forecasts, including a look at Christmas Day, but for now, it's back to the team.
Fantastic. Thanks for that, Em. And that's all from us for this Wednesday. Thanks very much for your company. Don't forget you can catch up on the late night updates, or you can catch up on 7 Plus if you missed anything. And from all of us here, good night.